This is Rating Descending.
where we watch IMDb's Worst 250 so you don't have to.
My name is Abigail Ward.
And I'm Michelle St. Clair.
And tonight, we watched Stop or My Mum Will Shoot. A tough police sergeant's overbearing mother comes to visit him and begins to meddle in his life and career. Let's watch. Michelle, I have a question for you.
That's great.
Picture me this. All right, consider this.
Okay.
Consider me this. All
Okay.
right, riddle me this. What do you think there is more of in the world, wheels or doors?
Oh, don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. I've seen this debate. Oh my God. I literally went on a rant about this the other night. Okay, I love semantic arguments,
Yeah.
right? They can be really fun and interesting because it can be fun when, like, in discussing the definition of something, what you're really breaking down is the very nature of that thing. That can be really fun and cool, right? To, like, be talking about how words work and how our definitions and understandings of things are. What I hate is questions that become these, like, society-wide, this what it is, and they have such an easy and definite answer, and then it just becomes this, like, roadblock of understanding because it's wheels. It's not a question. It is wheels. It's not like a.
It's funny you say it's not a
It is
question. 'Cause
wheels.
when I first heard it, I was like, "Wow, so much to consider." I thought it was doors at first. I was
That's
certain
crazy.
It was doors.
That's crazy.
I hadn't even considered things like office wheels. Office chair wheels really fucking like put the stats way up.
Oh, well, yeah,
And
but
also wheels in like desks as well. Like there's so many different kinds of wheels in your
Yeah.
day to day.
Well, the
there's
thing
wheels
is-
on rubbish bins.
wheels end up being all applicable uses of a circle, and doors are one function of a plank of rectangular wood.
Yeah.
Of course there's more wheels. Of course. And so, like, it's not like a philosophical question, more wheels or doors. It is a very easy thing with a real life answer, and it's wheels.
Even if it was a philosophical question, like what is more important to this world? Wheels. Like
Wheels.
wheels transport people.
Wheels.
Wheels help people that can't move. But
There's a
doors
reason
just
we-
stop people. It blocks people. All right. Fundamentally, doors are problematic.
Doors are problematic. Doors are, you know what? When we invented the wheel, we were free. We were able to ride chariots off into the
Yeah.
sunset. When we invented doors, that's when we started blocking people away and we stopped connecting with
100%.
our fellow man.
Yeah. What do you find in a lot of jails? Doors. Well, bars, but doors.
Doors
also-
made of bars.
Yeah. And you know what? I don't think it's a glass ceiling. I think it's a glass door. And we're just bouncing into it.
Which is bad. It's locked, is
And
the
it's
thing. Because
locked.
otherwise we could get through it.
And we're not.
Then it'd be fine.
I'm not strong enough to kick a glass door down.
Yeah. And you know what? In jails and in the glass ceiling, no wheels.
Yeah.
Because
no
they're
wheels.
bad.
Because they don't want you to move. They want to keep you there.
I am pro prison abolition, and that means tearing down doors and bringing in them wheels.
You know what? Fuck the argument of what is there more of. It's what is more helpful and useful and fundamental to society.
Yeah.
Doors or wheels.
Yeah, that's a better question because
But
it's
it's
just
still
like,
quite a clear answer. It's still wheels.
yeah, but at least we're look at how much more fun I'm having while we're talking about it.
Whoa, you just look so happy.
Wow, where's when you first asked the first question again?
What are there more of? Wheels or doors? Yeah, you did do that. You stop your frothing.
I'm driving it on my
Whoa,
wheels,
shit. How did you get on a bike
but it's
so quick?
it's a bike, so there's no doors.
Where I'm going, I don't need doors. Huh? Huh? Huh?
Hey,
Oh, that was good.
I thought you were
Yeah.
doing pump it.
I was going to say, in terms, not to play devil's advocate, but to play devil's advocate as well.
Oh my god, the
In
devil
terms
does
of
not
doors,
need someone on his side.
doors
He has
block
the GOP.
people. Doors to block people, right? Doors keep people confined,
Mm-hmm.
but they also keep people safe. All right. If I couldn't
Mm.
live safely in my home as a woman without a secure door,
I feel like you are the there's the debate about like what's better for society, and you're like the frail white woman who stands up and goes like, we have to keep our safety for our children.
Yeah,
you know,
100%.
no. We can't not change society because of your anxiety about being unsafe.
I mean,
Progress is good.
I'm not trying to get on my white, like my white woman high horse, but fundamentally, women of any color are prone to getting fucking attacked and harassed if they're not behind a secure door.
But what I'm saying, and this is a genuine thing to do with prison abolition, is that the way to stop rape isn't to build doors, it's to like
educate people properly.
Educate people and fundamentally reorient
But in the society that we're living in right now, right? We're not talking ideals.
No, we gotta build for tomorrow. We can't build for today. Listeners, we came in going, what are we going to talk about? Now, this is here. This is it. The launching of my political campaign career.
Vote for Michelle St. Clair, 2025.
Michelle St. Clair for Senate. Who are you running as? Michelle St. Clair. What do you?
What's your slogan? What's your campaign line? Like, what's the tagline?
Don't build for today. Build for tomorrow.
Right.
You know. We do that a lot. The NBN, which for non-Australian listeners is our national broadband network and is famously a piece of infrastructure policy that was pitched as like, it would have made us have the fastest internet speeds at the time. And then instead it was fucking ruined when the next government came in because it was built being like, oh, well, we don't need that speed right now. So then it was more expensive and slower. And now it sucks because they built for today and not for tomorrow.
I do fundamentally agree with you in that, like,
great.
Not about that, but also about that. The wheels are philosophically, like, conceptually
we're back
better.
on wheels.
But,
yeah.
and I will say, like, you're right.
Thanks.
But if I was your opponent running against you,
sure.
just consider me this. Picture me this. This is a fun little bit.
Mm-hmm.
If I was your opponent, my slogan would be more doors. We've
it?
got to build doors. What are walls? Big doors.
Well, you know who was the bad guy in Lord of the Rings? More doors.
Yeah. That Black Gate was a really big door.
It was a big door.
It was the biggest door.
And it was terrible.
I just want to build a door, all right, between America and Mexico. What's so wrong with that? What's so wrong with that?
You want to build
Keep us safe.
Well, because here's the part of what is bad about doors. You know what surrounds a door? Walls.
Yeah.
All right? You can't have a door without walls.
I don't believe in walls, but I do believe in doors.
No.
If I could live in a world where it was just doors standing alone.
You can't have a door without a wall. You're all about building walls just to put doors in them? That's crazy. I'm about tearing down. You are Mr. Gorbachev, and you must tear down this wall. Does that mean you're Reagan? Ew, I take it back.
You know what? I'm all about wheels that aren't attached to things. Just loose rogue wheels. More doors and rogue wheels is my tagline.
Yeah,
I'm your evil opponent. I want a society of tires and wheels.
Very true to real life because you're picking your political position not on any actual thing that makes sense, but just on what is different than my platform.
Well, we need some conflict. It's no fun if we're both like, that's true. I have to be an asshole.
We can just build society well without...
We're not going to hold... Have you never watched a movie? Conflict, all right? Obstacles. I am an obstacle for you every day to overcome.
I know. I'm well aware.
Speaking of obstacles... Speaking of things to overcome, this week we watched Stop or My Mum Will Shoot.
Yeah.
It's a 1992 film with Sylvester Stallone.
Uh-huh.
I didn't mean to skip ahead there. What are your first impressions of this film?
Look, I was like, hell yeah, we're finally getting into it. We're getting into the era of action movie star does... It's always a buddy comedy. Like even Junior is a buddy comedy, right?
Kindergarten Cop.
Kindergarten Cop is a great example. A lot of them are, what if a policeman was paired with...
Kindergarten Cop's not a buddy comedy.
It's
unless his buddy is the whole class.
Kindergarten. Yeah.
Buddies, cops.
His buddies. A lot of them are what if a cop was paired with not a cop.
Yeah.
That's a genre.
Is it?
Taxi.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Cop paired with not cop. I expected more out of this film.
What about the genre of cop paired with one of the Golden Girls? You know? That's also what the genre is.
How many other movies are in that genre?
Just this one. It's a lone genre.
Well, wait, is Betty White in any movies where she's paired with a cop?
No, but she should have been. She was in Snickers ads. Does that help you?
It does not leave me satisfied.
Oh.
Hey.
Take a break.
Snickers. Isn't that Picnic?
It's Kit Kat.
No, that's Gimme a Break.
No, have a break, have a Kit Kat.
It's gimme a break.
It's
gimme a break. Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar, isn't it?
I didn't know that song existed.
Okay.
Give me a break. It sounds like you're making it up.
I think
I'm looking at you being like,
I think I'm recounting a bit from The Office.
I thought you were having a stroke. Give me a break. Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar.
Yeah.
Maybe, listeners, please help us here.
But take a break. How do you take a...
Have a break, have a Kit Kat.
That doesn't make any sense with what it's referring to as a break. I know it's like a double entendre. Oh, you fucking
But it's
clever.
also being like, have a break from your life, have a Kit Kat.
But give me a break because it's like you're breaking. Give me the break that you've made.
But you can also have a break once it's given to you, you know? It's the gimme is done, the having begins.
I like the element of snatching, though, from gimme. Have a break is offering. I want you to gimme the break.
The gimme is done, the having begins is the dumbest line I've ever said on this podcast.
We should bring back gimme.
Gimme.
When you really analyze it, that's a fucking
did Britney
straight
Spears do fucking nothing? All right.
Gimme a man after
That's
midnight.
her. Yeah, that's Britney.
I love Britney. Gimme
A man after midnight.
Hey, she's free now. She can do whatever she wants. She can sing with her real singing voice, which is gorgeous.
You wanna lose control.
So I think this is a good indication of how much we got into Stop and My Mum Will Shoot.
I think we covered everything. This film, for me, like it was fun-ish. It had all the elements to be fun, and yet I just really struggled with it.
Yeah,
Really
me too.
It's so boring.
I really like, listeners. I watched this in succession with next week's movie, and like coming off the high of that one, this was so hard impossible to focus on.
I have to say, just to warn you, the review section is quite long, just because so many critics had a lot to say about this film.
Wow,
really, like not even lengthy reviews or anything particularly intelligent to say, just to voice how much they hated it.
You know when you build a set building, right?
Yeah.
And it looks like a building from the outside and you go into it and there's nothing there?
Yeah.
That's what this movie is. It looks like a movie. There's all these movie bits.
Tastes like a movie.
There's all these movie bits to it.
Smells like a movie.
But then you go inside and you're like, I don't think there is anything here.
Yeah, it's empty.
Yeah.
It's like a display home.
It is like a display
You like
home.
open the door and you're like,
yeah, my analogy of a set building
Scaffolding.
didn't quite work. Yeah, but a set home inspired analogy instead. You just took my analogy.
I think I made it better. You know, your analogy was like a display home. When you walked into it, there was nothing there except me holding up a sign.
No, that's really clever. That's really great, Abby. You really you bring the mask energy into the podcast.
I truly do. I'm the daddy. Yeah, this was stupid. But hey, we've got another Sylvester Stallone film.
Another Sylvester.
What's how many times has he occurred?
He is now tied with Chris McDonald and Justin Long because he was in Driven, Spy Kids 3, and we forgot when we did Spy Kids 3, Escape Plan.
Oh my God.
Which also means he, unlike Chris McDonald, he has starred in the most. I mean, he was still main cast in Spy Kids 3, even though he wasn't the lead.
Didn't we agree technically Chris McDonald gets a 4.5? Just for like having association with the
Spy Kids 2.
franchise?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
But yeah, this is another fucking appearance. And it's got Estelle Getty, who played Sophia in The Golden Girls, playing Tootie Bamowski, his mother.
That's why.
Yeah.
That's why this is really familiar. Also, it took me until the very end of the movie. The whole time I was like, right, because Sylvester Stallone is doing Italian. Hollywood has taught me that there is a generation of Italian-American boomer mothers that are identical to each other. And it was only at the end of the movie where they kept saying, hey, come this way, Miss Baminsky. And I was like, wait, Baminsky? Are they Polish?
Bamowski.
Bamowski.
The name.
Bamowski. Yeah, Bamowski. I was like, are they Polish?
Yeah, I don't know
like
what
Polish
the
or Jewish
is supposed to
Polish?
be. I mean, his full name is, and I don't know why I have this down, Joseph Andrew Bamowski.
I don't know enough about Polish American or Italian American subcultures in the Northeast to be able to definitively say whether they have similar boomer energy. But it did feel a surprise to find out that this is a Polish character.
I feel like there was nothing necessarily that indicated they were meant to be Italian apart from Al.
Maybe it's just
The stereotypes around Italian mothers and her coinciding. Like in The Golden Girls, I think Sophia and Dorothy, I don't think they're meant to be Italian in it either. And she plays Sophia exactly as she plays in this.
Well, that's true. I guess I was just stuck thinking of like Everybody Loves Raymond.
Yeah,
and the mother in that. Who's the mother in that?
Marie.
Yeah. Who's
But I
the
don't
actress?
know. I don't know the.
I feel like I've seen her in something else. Anyway, yeah, Marie. Same sort of characterization of they're always talking over. They're always criticizing.
Yeah.
Hey, Ma.
Zebra.
Come on. We've expounded repeatedly on how much why does Everybody Loves Raymond is one of the most frequently occurring cultural references.
It really is. It's come up more than it should.
It was on so much as a kid that it's like imprinted into my brain.
And it's
one of the
imprinted-
curves goes into.
We bring it up because it did not age well, and you watch it
Yeah.
as an adult, and you're like, this was so much worse than I thought it was as a kid.
But it's like, it's not like Frasier is in there, and I watched Frasier more than Everybody Loves Raymond.
I got the liberty of showing Claude Fraser for the first time, like last year.
Ooh, did you give him that tossed salad and scrambled eggs?
Yeah, tossed salad
Oh, baby,
and
I hear the
scrambled
blues are
eggs.
calling. Tossed salad and scrambled eggs.
Yeah. All right now.
Blew my fucking mind as an adult when I was like, wait, this is a spin-off of Cheers?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
I feel like spin-offs used to be kind of good.
At a certain point, they definitely were.
Like
Also,
All in the
Kelsey Grammer.
Family.
I mean, Kelsey Grammer is so naturally charismatic, despite being
Sure.
a heinous person. That, yeah, I mean, the reason that they tuned in was just hear his silky, luscious voice.
Yeah.
And watch his hairline recede even further.
I remember reading this whole writing thing about the genius of Frasier is a lot of sitcoms deal in these archetypes, and his archetype in Cheers is that he's what's referred to as the stick. You know, he's the stick in the mud.
Yeah.
He's the, you guys, we got to do the right thing. We got to do the proper thing. I can't believe you guys, you ruffians. Oh, Ted Danson, you lower class working type.
So what you're saying is that you're Frasier and I am Sam.
No, no, I don't think that's true. No, we're Sam and Diane because like Sam and Diane, we fight all the time.
We're definitely on and off again.
No, the genius of Frasier, because you can't give the stick their own A story. It doesn't work. So what you do is you give the stick his own stick in his brother Niles, who out stick in the muds him.
Yeah, exactly. Niles is more uptight than
And
Frasier.
then he has the foil in his dad.
But
and
they
like,
never
that's
change his
fucking
character,
genius.
which is also really smart. They never bend his character to make him feel inconsistent with the Frasier they set up in Cheers.
That's what I mean.
Still
That's
the
why
same
it's
stick in the mud.
so clever.
Fighting around. Yeah, a bigger stick in the mud.
It's just how you putting that archetype in a different context makes him fill a different role.
Because you have to find a different comedic dynamic to make the stick in the mud the protagonist fighting against people that are crazier than him. But the people that are crazier than him are often the people that are more uptight than him rather than more degenerate than him.
I mean, also between Cheers and Frasier, that's like 18 seasons with the one character. Like that's impressive.
That's a lot of time. Anyway, I would like for you to introduce yourself in this podcast going forwards as Michelle Stick in the Mud Sinclair.
No, I'm not a stick in the mud. Hey guys, hey, I'm Michelle St. Clair. You can't see, I've got my hat backwards.
She's actually surfing a wave right now.
Yeah, man, that's totally cool. I don't block, I don't interrupt. I'm just chill and cool with everything. Abby, like, tell me something and I'll be cool about it.
Well, what I was saying about doors, right? I just want more of them. And I want more loose wheels. She's dissolving. Back to this fucking movie. How did we get so off topic?
Just get into it. Just get into it.
Do you want the overview?
Yeah.
You fucking get the overview. You fucking bitch. You rotten bitch. This film has 4.2 stars on IMDb. It was made in 1992 and it was directed by Roger Spottiswoode.
Cool. Cool.
It was written by 3 people. William Davies, William Osborne, people not much of note. The third person that it was written by was Blake Snyder.
What?
The guy of Save the Cat.
Yeah.
And Blake Snyder, I think there's a lot of valuable things to take out of Save the Cat, but for good reason. A lot of people criticize the formula as encouraging a lot of, uncreative story generation. And I get that because having watched a film that he wrote, fucking sucked. It fucking sucked.
I hate it because it's not even original. He's just taking McKee and and fucking Campbell.
Yeah.
And just going and putting page numbers to it. And I hate that.
For listeners, if you're not familiar with Save the Cat by Blake Snyder, it is like another story structure book, but it
Yeah.
is called Save the Cat because he talks about a very important moment when you introduce a character in a film where you give them a save the cat moment where they do something that redeems them and makes them likable to you, the viewer, so you're on their side. And then there's also on the reverse of that, a kick the cat moment where if you're setting up a villain, you see them do something evil as soon as you meet them so you know where they stand with you. This film, from memory, didn't give me a save the cat moment.
No, not at
At
all.
all.
The closest thing to a save the cat moment that this has is actually one of my favorite moments where he is yelling at his mom saying, I like my life, which I thought, look, this movie made me feel nothing, but that moment kind of made me want to tear up in despondence because it was like, this is such a rare statement in a film for someone
Yeah.
to just like desperately say, I like my life. And I'm
Yeah.
like, it also made me go like, you can just like your life how it is?
Yeah.
That's crazy. It's such a foreign
But then the
concept.
whole film is like his mom showing him, no, your life sucks, and I'm going to change it for you. Bamowski, his name is Joe Bamowski. So
Yeah.
Joe is our leading man. I'm going to give you the overview.
Yeah.
Sergeant Bamowski is a tough cop. His seemingly frail mother, Tootie, comes to stay with him and progressively interferes in his life. After ruining her son's gun, Tootie buys him an illegal pistol and witnesses the murder of one of the men who sold it to her. Tootie is taken to the police station to give a statement and learns the gun she purchased was part of a collection taken from a burnt building. With the help of Tootie, they take down the bad guys together and repair their relationship for good. That's the whole film.
Yeah.
Very
pretty
brief
much.
overview.
Like it skims over the mystery, the case, but it's not very interesting.
The case is not very interesting.
It's really not.
It's really basics. There's no like twists and reveals, but like I can't even like identify the specifics of
which
the case.
I think is impressive because it like a genre like this, the case isn't actually important
yeah.
and it's rarely interesting.
Most of the film was about his relationship with his mom and his relationship with this woman at work that he's trying to impress.
It's like in things like Starsky and Hutch, right? Like the actual crime that's happening
It's the least interesting bit.
barely matters.
Yeah.
Like it's still like interesting enough to go like, oh, there's crime happening and they're
Yeah.
trying to stop, but it barely matters. It
Exactly.
barely registers
Most
in
of
what
the
the
film
audience
is
is there for.
Tootie figuring out really smart ways to get out of like the clutch of evil people
Yeah.
and helping her son. That's what most of it is. And her learning how to fire a gun.
Yeah, that's one of the most consistent arcs in this movie because there's a bit in the middle where she finally points a gun at someone and he goes, stop. And then the whole thing pauses. And then he goes, or my mom will shoot. And I'm like, hey, bazinga.
I do have to say, when I was researching this film, a site came up that I'd never seen before, which was just tvtropes.org.
I've talked about TV tropes.
I had never gone into TV tropes before.
It's great.
And there was so many listed for this film. And I
makes
really
sense.
get why. This film is every trope under the sun, which
It
is
is.
why it feels hollow, like a
Yeah.
display home, if you will.
Yeah, like a display at home.
Yeah.
But the emotional climax of the movie is his mother, like, he's getting a gun pointed at him, and then his mum pulls out her own giant fucking handgun and points it at someone, and then fucking blows them away.
Yeah.
That's the emotional climax of the movie,
Yeah.
is finally his mother can shoot someone.
Don't get me wrong, though. I think the premise of like a nana, like fucking Estelle Getty
Yeah.
with a gun, that's kind of fun. Like, I like the idea. I like
yeah,
the
it's
trope.
called Murder, She Wrote.
Yeah, okay, that's what a lot of people have been saying. I like the trope of an old lady with like solving mysteries and it's like the Miss Marple effect of you're just an old woman, you
Yeah.
can't hurt me. I find that fun. But there was obviously nothing fresh or original about this.
No.
And even fucking Estelle Getty can't win us back with this one.
No.
No. And also I have to say,
Yeah.
big bold statement.
Okay. I'm
you ready
here
for this?
Yeah.
Just like hold on to the table. All right? Buckle in your seatbelt.
I'm buckled. I'm fucking buckled in, ready to roll.
The Golden Girls isn't that funny.
Whoa, okay. I thought you were going to say she's the least interesting Golden Girl, and I was
No.
going to be fully prepared for agreeing with you. But
Everyone
Golden
loves
Girls is
Sophia,
funny.
but like I liked Dorothy, but I just honestly think the humor is so wet. Like it's the opposite of
What?
dry. Like it is. It's nothing. There's nothing to like. There's no subtext. Every joke is on the nose.
Every time I watch the Golden Girls, I'm like, oh, this is so
I'm
wet.
dripping.
Where did the Golden Girls get so
I
wet?
like the jokes in the Golden Girls, like they talk down to you. And I know that the Golden Girls, like most sitcoms, is a great exploration of character and learning
friendship.
about friendship. But no amount of shoulder pads and pastels can trick me into thinking that the Golden Girls is a good show.
It
right?
is. It
It's
is a
not.
good show.
It's not. It's
a different
good
style of story. That's like saying All in the Family talks down to its audience. It doesn't. It's explaining, it's using the broad format of a sitcom to be able to explore ideas in the open.
But
It doesn't need to be subtext for it to be clever.
I think so Friends, for instance, for me, I don't think Friends is necessarily a good show because, again, it is a good show because of the character development and the work that they put into the characters and the fact that even now we can say, oh, you're such a Phoebe and you know who that is, right? But what Friends did really well, it really kept a lot of storylines really fresh and they knew how to keep reinventing it. And every time I watch The Golden Girls, I can see every joke coming a mile off. And I don't get that with Friends, despite the fact that the humor is just as wet and moist.
But also, like,
I can anticipate everything that's going to happen. It's never surprising.
Are being developed in the era of the Golden Girls and Cheers, right? Like all the times we see these things from the 90s being like, oh yeah, that's every sitcom episode. Yeah, that's because Cheers and the Golden Girls did it.
And I do respect that, but I also feel like at least Cheers could keep me on my fucking feet a little bit more. They could keep me on my toes. But
Cheers kept you surprised? You were like, will they or won't they?
Sam and Diane, the back and forth. But I'm not a fan of Golden Girls. I just never, if there's an episode on, I would rather watch something else.
Hey, look, you don't have to be a fan, but bad show. Bold claim.
Yeah.
Bold claim.
Yeah, I'm just fucking spitting truths. If you've got an issue with that, come at
Pro-Doors,
me.
anti-Golden Girls.
If you come at me, I will cry, but I'll still double down.
Well, get ready for the double up, double down. That's where I get someone else and we double team. Oh, no, hang on.
We spit no, sorry, hang on.
Sorry, we fuck, damn it.
Fuck. We raw dog. No, wait, hang on.
Hang on, I got this.
That's such a Diane thing to say.
We fucking bukkake? God. Sorry, slip of the tongue.
We squirt. We hit.
Well, that one was intentional. You don't know how to get us out of this hole. Where do we go from here?
All I can think of is Sam and Diane. I have to say, I watched an episode of Cheers, and the Sam and Diane dynamic is fucked up.
It's really fucked up.
There's an episode where she's like, I don't ever want to see you again. And he's like, well, you're going to see me again. And he basically picks her up and kisses her passionately against her consent. And she's like, oh, Sam.
It's not great.
It's not great. It's really
awful.
Perpetuating the idea that if you force a woman enough, she will just love you again.
Yeah, it's well, I mean, they don't end up together, so that's good.
They don't. But anyway.
So it's like that's the most famous will they won't they is they won't.
Yeah.
And I don't really want them to.
Hey, another famous will they won't they is when Harry Met Sally, and they did.
And they did.
In a very confusing turn for the theme.
Very confusing turn for the theme. Men and women can't be friends.
How did you find Sylvester's enunciating in this film?
Really perfect. I don't know what happened in the years.
It picked up, didn't it?
It was pretty good.
He still has an occasion where like he clearly just didn't open his mouth quite enough, but he's getting there.
But it's still more like, hey, come on, Ma, you know, he almost sounds kind of like Tim Allen. And I say that because there's a point where I was just like going to grab something while it was playing and it was him. And I was like, why does that voice sound familiar? And like, I know it's Sylvester Stallone. And I was like, because it sounds like Buzz Lightyear, which is Tim Allen. Right?
Interesting. The crossover of Tim Allen and Sylvester Stallone very much featured men in this podcast.
Yeah, I think
they have a lot in common.
I mean, neither of them are famous for their quality of acting. They're famous for acting.
I have to say, this film, as you say, is definitely part of that 90s trend of we have an action star, but we want to make him likable and we want to make him family friendly. So let's put him in a dumb family-friendly comedy.
Which was later very poorly replicated in Vin Diesel vehicle, The Pacifier, a movie I've seen maybe 30 times.
Because of Chelsea?
Sure. As well as what Dwayne Johnson was in Tooth Fairy.
Please, call him by his full name.
Sorry. Dwayne Johnson. He hasn't been The Rock for a long time now.
God. Do you remember that one time I photoshopped my face onto The Rock's body and I was like, do you think this is sexy? And you were like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Do you remember the time that I photoshopped Dwayne Johnson's face onto a rock melon?
Yeah.
And then I also photoshopped a rock melon onto Dwayne Johnson's body.
Nice.
And that was pretty funny.
That was pretty good.
You know what? I'll attach those into the tweet of this. By the way, the pacing of this movie was abysmal. I wrote down the pacing of this would make a snail jealous. It takes 30 minutes for the mum to be like, they're now have to stay together.
Yeah, like it takes 30 minutes for her to break his gun and to witness a murder. Blake Snyder wrote this. Yeah. What the fuck is he fucking around with?
Well, we don't know what Will and Will did.
Yeah, Will and Will.
Yeah.
Bill and Bill, the flower pot pill. Don't look at me.
Bill and Will really ruined Blake's body of Burke. Oh, God, it didn't come out for me. But yeah, no, it takes so long. And also, yeah, her breaking the gun by like washing it. That I thought was kind of funny. There were these like brief moments where I was like, that was unhinged in a way that made me laugh. There was a bit later with the mum. I can't. Oh, geez, did I write it down?
You know, Estelle Getty was 60 years old when she found fame.
Wow.
She wanted to be an actress her whole life and no one really believed in her. Aww. And had a family, had a husband, and then finally when she was 60, she got her big break.
That's so great. That's actually really great.
It is.
It kind of makes me think of how I was watching a different thing with it all. Thinking like, man, if you're 90, I feel like we're bad with ages. Like we think like above 50 equals old, equals all the same. If someone is 90, it has been 20 years since they were 70.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like,
we really think
that's the same. If I was 47, that's 20 years from now. Think of how different I would be. Of course, a 90-year-old is different than a 70-year-old.
Yeah.
And we put them in the same bucket as people who are just 60.
We seem to think that most of our aging takes place between 0 and like 50. Yeah. And then from that point onwards, you're going to be the same forever and it's going to be a slow progression. Fuck no.
One of my favorite tropes is when a character that is in their 60s and to be older refers to like the leads who are in their like mid or late 20s as kids.
Yeah.
Look at those kids, you know, arguing and getting around or whatever he's saying. And
getting
I'm like,
around.
And I'm like, I love that. I love that they're the kids figuring it out.
Yeah.
Like, they are. They're still kids.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure. We're still We're still young.
We're still
high.
We're still young.
I swear. hey, boomers. What, you don't watch the TikTok? Do you want to hear some trivia?
Okay, yeah, sure.
Here's a strong one to start off with.
I'm excited.
Sylvester Stallone considers this the worst film he's ever done.
We've seen... I mean, this is the lowest rated one.
Yeah. Sylvester Stallone has stated that Stop or My Mum Will Shoot was the... Oh, that's the same line. He told a news source that it was, quote, maybe one of the worst films in the entire solar system.
Oh my God.
Including alien productions we've never seen. That a flatworm could write a better script.
Whoa.
And, quote, in some countries, China, I believe, running this movie once a week on government television has lowered the birth rate to 0. If they ran it twice a week, I believe in 20 years, China would be extinct. What is going on in this man's brain?
You know what?
Including alien productions we've never seen.
I'm not one to have previously necessarily respected the intelligence of Sylvester Stallone, but
the creativity,
the respect I had is now shattered. That what the fuck? China will go extinct? What the fuck is he talking about?
The alien productions.
Also, when did he say that? Because I would argue Escape Plan 3 is worse.
When Estelle Getty found out that the movie would involve guns, she said she would only do the movie if there were no guns. The producers then lied to her, saying there would be no guns to get her to sign on.
What was it called at that point?
Stop or My Mum Will Kiss You.
we have found out that it has the title implied not only mentions guns but like implies that the mum in particular will do the shooting. What? And then they lied to her? That's not cool.
Not cool.
That's not great.
She's a little old lady.
I'm sure then she was particularly disappointed by how at the third act conclusion is now mum really can kill.
Though she appears with red hair in the film, many posters depicted Estelle Getty with white hair so that she was marketed resembling her popular character from the Golden Girls, which is quite smart, I guess.
Yeah.
It's also an odd choice.
Yeah.
This was also the recipient of 3 Golden Raspberry Awards: Stallone as Worst Actor, Getty as Worst Supporting Actress, and Worst Screenplay.
Yeah. A recurring theme is that the script of this is pretty terrible. Blake, It's not looking good for you.
It's really not looking good. And I love this. I love this so much. So, of course, having already mentioned things like Junior and Kindergarten Cop, Stallone's greatest competitor and rival was always Arnie. Because Arnie was an action hero, but he'd also successfully made the transition into being a very friendly leading man in a bunch of 90s comedies. So like Sylvester was like, or Sly was really keen to replicate that.
Yeah.
According to Sly, Arnie tricked him into being in this flop comedy. There was a rumor, like Sly claims that Arnie started a rumor that he wanted to be in this movie really badly, but Arnie actually knew that the script was terrible. He heard that Arnie wanted to do the movie, and after hearing that, said he wanted to sign on. Later, he found out Arnie had tricked him.
What a piece of shit. Yeah. What an awful
Arnie
move.
read the script, went, that's terrible, and he was like, I really want to be in this movie. Sly was desperate to get the role. He had never auditioned for it, never.
He also did the same thing when he tried to encourage Sylvester Stallone to run as senator for New Jersey. Because he was like, oh man, he's a governor. I got to compete with that. But he was running against Cory Booker. It wasn't going to happen, man.
Michelle, would you like to hear some reviews?
Why not?
Reviews! There's heaps of reviews. People hated this film. More than us.
I don't know.
This film has an 11% approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
Ooh.
The critical consensus reads, thoroughly witless and thuddingly unfunny. This gives mismatched stars very little to work with. Rita Kempley of the Washington Post called it your worst nightmare. Oh, what a good start. Clifford Terry wrote in the Chicago Tribune, around 2/3 into Stop or My Mom Will Shoot, Sylvester Stallone actually delivers this title line. That's how numbingly awful this is. Give it a half star for being in focus. Michael Wilmington of the Los Angeles Times wrote, this is another high-concept marketing hook job, a slick, slow-witted, shiny, 100% predictable movie, and the scriptwriters don't have anything richer on their minds than the usual feisty mother-son gags. Very true. My favorite also is Roger Ebert's statement. He wrote a very angry review, giving it a thumbs down, saying, Stop or My Mom Will Shoot is one of those movies so dim-witted, so utterly lacking in even the smallest morsel of redeeming value that you stare at the screen in stunned disbelief.
Wow.
Scathing.
That
scathing.
is scathing.
This didn't come out to bad. It came out to scathing reviews.
Yeah. I think a lot of the movies on this list do.
Here are 3 IMDb reviews for you as well.
Ooh.
The first one is called Wonderful Movie. It was left by Attic Man. But Attic is spelt with a Q-U-E at the end. Attic Man.
Oh, okay. It's an Attic Man.
Wonderful Movie. I don't know why people have rated this movie so low. It is so wonderful. I don't even have the words. Thanks for writing a review. Sylvester is amazing, and the tension between his mother and girlfriend, amazing, is so great. Reminds me of My Mother. What a wonderful, funny movie. 10 out of 10.
I imagine he's saying that in his attic.
The Attic Man.
But he's been
reminds
there,
me of my mother.
He's been there for 20 years. Reminds me of my mother. The tension between the mother and the girlfriend was genius.
I guess we didn't really talk about it so much, but it's needless to say, the trope of man hates his overbearing, caring mother. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
I'm over it.
Yeah.
I'm over it,
Women
you guys.
are great. They just care about you. You can suck it up. I'm sorry it affects your masculinity that your mother cares about you.
Everyone's telling this guy that he should start respecting his girlfriend and doing his job a little better.
Bitches.
Man, sounds like they're terrible? No. Come on, grow up. Grow up. Come on, Sylvester Stallone. Grow up.
Here's a review left by James_Cocos_snowboots. And it's called Classic. Sylvester Stallone and Estelle Getty are the most inspired comedic team since Whoopi Goldberg and Theodore Rex. If you love at least one of the following, really hot buff mama's boys, wisecracking sharpshooting old ladies, or hot milfs in ill-fitting suits, you must watch this movie ASAP. A review can't do this film justice, so just watch it with closed captioning if you're watching VHS, trust me. MILFs in ill-fitting suits is insane.
I love hot MILFs.
MILFs in
Only when they're in ill-fitting suits, though. If that suit fits, get it off.
James Coco and your snow boots. You're wild. You got nasty in the IMDb comment section.
Ooh, check out these fucking ill-fitting MILFs.
Whoa, that suit looks terrible.
Ooh. No, that MILF needs a tailor.
And here's my last review left by David M., the best username we've ever encountered.
Yeah.
And it was left in 1999. If you like Sylvester Stallone comedies, you'll love this humorous farce that has teamed up with him that has him teamed up with Estelle Getty, easily one of the best films of the early 1990s. This underrated film is like a fine wine. It gets better with age.
Oh my God.
10 out of 10.
Oh my God. Much like a MILF in an ill-fitting suit gets better with age.
We call it a MILF fitting suit. MILF fitting suit. We made it! Michelle, that was their review. What is your review?
My review is probably encapsulated by Blake. This is Blake Snyder's kick the cat moment in his own line.
Incriminating.
Even some of the like real set pieces, such as towards the end where he's driving after the plane and then like drives his car into the plane's propeller and the front of it gets completely fucking obliterated. You're like, oh, what's going to happen? And then what happens is that he then sort of really slowly drives into a soft tanker and they stop. And then everyone goes, we got There's the police here. So I don't know. It's pretty fucking lackluster.
Yeah.
We've been on this hot streak of wild, crazy movies. And this is the weakest of them.
This was a real shuddering halt that we had this week.
We got another great one next week, but this was like the if you played them all back to back, this would be like the piss break. You know?
Yeah, the intermission. Go get some snacks in the lobby.
Yeah. If you're binging through episodes, this is the calm before the storm.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm going to say 1.5 out of 10. I really didn't like this.
You know what? I'm fucking right there with you. 1.5 out of 10. This film doesn't even deserve me trying to consider a rating. I'm just riding on your coattails, baby. Abigail, note me down as riding on Michelle's coattails this episode.
Yeah. If we get an updated one of friend of the podcast Luke Anton's incredible like graphs he did for our first 50 episode of ratings, for this one it should be Michelle 1.5, Abby 1.5, riding on Michelle's coattails.
Yeah, and tiny lettering.
Yeah.
Well, guys, that was our review. Don't forget, please, to follow us on social media. We're everywhere. We're watching you. We are Big Brother. You can find us on TikTok under Rate Descend Pod. Big Brother. You can find us on TikTok. You can find us on Twitter at Rate Descend Pod. You can find us on TikTok at Rating Descending, or you can email us at ratingdescending@gmail.com. We love the emails. We will respond. We'll be really sweet. We'll send you even cute emojis if you want, but you have to clarify that you want it.
Or if you don't want a big brother, you can check out a little sister on my own social media. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at michelle.stclair.
Or you can find me on Instagram under Abigail Shea Ward. Definitely not your little sister.
I mean, both of us are little sisters.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, which is kind of neat. But also, please, if you could leave us a review on either Spotify or Apple Podcasts.
Or wherever you get your podcasts. Do it.
Yeah.
For us. You love us. And we love you.
Yeah.
We're one big happy family.
Yeah.
But I'm still not your little sister.
We're here together.
So what are we watching next week, Michelle?
Next week we're watching Highlander 2, The Quickening.
Whoa.
We're back, baby.
And we'll have a very special guest with us as well.
Come check it out. We are back in the Highlander world.
We are so fucking excited for it.
A big ball of bonkers bullshit.
That should be your Insta bio. Join us next week, guys.
Yeah, see you then.